Pedito Box.
Especial, presentamos la unificación del título peso baja del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo y la Asociación Mundial de Boxeo. Presentando en la esquina azul con calzoncillo gris con franja azul. Introducing first in the blue corner, wearing gray trunks with blue trim, un peleador de Managua, Nicaragua. La bienvenida al campeón del mundo peso mínimo de la AMB, el invicto Rosendo, el Búfalo Alvarez. Y su oponente en la esquina roja usando calzoncillo blanco. His opponent in the red corner wearing white trunks, representando Tacubaya, Distrito Federal, México. Con un peso de 47.6 kilogramos, he weighed the same as his opponent, 105 pounds. Tiene un sobresaliente récord de 46 victorias sin derrota, con 35 de ellos por knockout. His record represents the longest undefeated streak in boxing today, with 46 wins, no losses, 35 wins coming by way of knockout. Welcome, the WBC Strawweight Champion of the World. Demos la bienvenida al campeón del mundo peso paja del CNB, el sensacional e invicto Ricardo Finito Lopez.
Knocked him out in 3, so if common opponents mean anything, the edge goes to Alvarez. Alvarez is a natural 105. Lopez has had to work hard to stay at 105 the last several years of his career. Alvarez is the best fighter Lopez has ever faced, and here we go. Two undefeated champions. Let's see how it unfolds. Ricardo Finito Lopez to the left of your screen, now to the right of your screen. Lopez, very quick and very subtle type of fighter. In the gray and blue trunks, you see there is Rosendo Alvarez. Right now, Lopez is trying to get his punching room, find out what he can do in the first round, ties a guy up inside, they talk to each other. They're both talking. Right now, Lopez is just testing. He tests the left hand, tests the right hand. Alvarez realizes he's in against a good man. You see that slick move that Lopez makes? A lot of things, unless you really watch boxing close, not only are you going to miss it, but I'm going to miss it. That's how good and how subtle the movements of Ricardo Lopez. Of course, all that can be offset by the punching power of Alvarez. Alvarez is a terrific champion in his own right from Nicaragua. He had great wins over Jose Bonilla, knockout in the 11th. Gina Popian, he won in 12 rounds in Thailand. Knocked out Carmen Gardia in the 3rd. Been training 7 weeks here in the altitude for this fight. And Luis Spada from Panama says we tried to teach him to go to the body more, although he's appeared to be headhunting with that wild right hand. Lopez is very quick on his feet. Avoids a lot of shots that he otherwise could be hit with. This is the first round of a scheduled 12-round fight. I'm Bob Sheridan. You're watching the world, and wherever you're watching, I'm glad that you're with us. These are two great boxers. Finito Lopez, I made the statement and I'll make it one final time, is one of the finest technical boxers you will ever put your eyes on. He's the finest, maybe the finest I've ever seen. He ranks with the great technical ability that Durant had as a lightweight, with Chavez in his prime. Only this guy is more subtle in his movements as he avoids the shots of Alvarez. This is going to be a difficult fight for judges to score, too. There's 2 WBC judges and 1 WBA judge, which would kind of favor Finito Lopez. Alvarez coming forward all the time. Their heads come together. Both guys can plan a little bit. I don't see any blood coming from any place, so luckily we got through that. And the heads will come together because Lopez dips and ducks a lot, and Alvarez comes straight forward with kind of his neck bent down. And again, the heads seem to come together again. Now, nothing dirty at all. Both guys complaining a little bit about the heads coming together, but it seemed to have been in the middle of the forehead of Lopez and on top of the head of Alvarez. Not only has the crowd been vocal, but they've been throwing samples of hair conditioning given away before the show outside the arena, and there's a lot of it in the ring. And Lopez is knocked down for only the third time in his career. He got caught with a good shot. He appears to be okay, and he's surprised. So there's the power of Alvarez. Let's see what happens here now. He's still wobbling on his feet, and now almost Alvarez going down, and Finito Lopez has the adrenaline flowing right now pretty heavily. Another nice left hook by Alvarez. You've seen the power of Alvarez now, loading up right-hand shots. He waited for his opportunity and then landed the big blow. And with these little packets of things they're tossing in the ring, it could be dangerous for fighter stepping on twisted ankle or what have you. But right now, Finito Lopez gets clipped with another right hand. You very rarely see anyone put this kind of pressure on him. He fights off the ropes as the people really chant Lopez, Lopez. Alvarez continues to come forward. Puffiness underneath the cheek of Ricardo Lopez. Alvarez will knock this guy down. It's something we haven't seen very often in Lopez's career. We talked about the difficulty in him making this 105 pounds weight. And Alvarez right now appears to be stronger, as you see, or you will see when we have a little more loose shot. You'll see a lot of stuff in the ring that's been tossed in there. Lopez caught with a good shot in the early going of the second round. We'll have replays of that from every which way. He's got his strength back, but he doesn't want to mix inside with this guy at this stage of the fight. It's very dangerous for him. He's been able to get away with it with most opponents, but Alvarez, as I pointed out before this fight, is not like most opponents. This guy's a world champion in his own right, and he's strong. He can punch, and he has a lot of confidence. He has wins on the road and decisions in Thailand and decisions in Japan, which you don't get. And he probably would have to do everything but kill Lopez to get a decision here in Mexico. But right now, Ricardo Lopez is trying to get everything in terms of cobwebs cleared from his head and get back to his fight plan. And now he's back up on his toes and appears all right. Digs to the body. Wow, with the right hand is Lopez. Closing seconds of the second round. We'll have that replay from every angle, so you will see exactly what happened when the big shot landed by Rosendo. But it got the attention of Ricardo Finito Lopez. And if the first round was even, the second round definitely Alvarez is around by 2 points. And Finito Lopez is really going to be tested tonight before it's over. We talked about the technical perfection of Lopez, but against a very heavy puncher like Alvarez, he's going to have to be more than technical. He's going to have to be super smart against this guy for the rest of the fight to turn this thing around. Loading up the right hand. Live with the right hand is Lopez. Both of these kids are very religious kids that both give God credit for their ability. Wow, with that left hand is Lopez. A little tentative is Ricardo tonight. And why wouldn't he be if he starts with the right hand like Alvarez got him in that second round? The strengths for Ricardo Lopez, you'd say, you know, he's considered one of the best pure boxers in the world today. Great craftsmanship, defense, quickness. His one-hand punching power, and so does Alvarez. If there's weakness, it's, you know, a lot of mediocre opponents that he's had, and injuries to his hands over his career, and in recent years, difficulty in making his 105 pounds. Alvarez name has that nickname Buffalo. You can see why he fights like that. He just keeps coming forward. Crowd cheering for Lopez, trying to get him going. See the time remaining in the third round. Nobody's really taking command here of this third round. Lopez catches it with a light left hand. Tries to land a combination. boxer against the puncher, when you have that situation, you have the classic matchup, especially when you have two undefeated fighters and when there's two world titles on the line. Doesn't get any better than this if you like pure boxing. Lopez, a sensitive guy, wears his mother's wedding ring in his socks when he's fighting. His mother is deceased. Mentioned about his faith in the Catholic Church. It's kind of a tough one for God tonight. Who are you going to root for? Those guys have a lot of faith in the church. It's down to who wants it the most. And when you have the boxer against the puncher, more often than not, the puncher wins. Very few exceptions. Maybe Muhammad Ali's career and maybe Finito Lopez if he can turn this thing around against Alvarez. This is a very Ricardo Lopez, and immediately Alvarez answered. I think Lopez has outboxed him in this round, but it's a tough round to score. All right, the bell ends round 3, and that's the best round for Lopez. I thought the first round was very even, too difficult to score. They want Alvarez to use his left and set up and work off his left a little bit more, not so many right hands. I don't know if I agree with that. I let him keep throwing right hands, but they know him best. Roberto Garibaldi, Luis Spada, Julio, Cousins, all working those gyms down in Panama. Spada worked with Roberto Duran during most of his career, so he's a good one. And he told me today, he said, Alvarez could beat this guy. He says, there are ways Lopez could beat my fighter, but I don't think so. I just think my guy's got full strength. And he may be right. You know, Lopez is looking pretty good right now. This is the 4th round. It's scheduled for 12. Reaching was Alvarez that time. And I talked to the last fight about that danger zone, and if ever anybody should be careful of that, the guy on your right, Ricardo Lopez, has got to watch the danger zone inside. He's got to get in and get out. He's quick on his feet. He's got to let his stuff go, let it fly, and get out of there. He can't stand there and exchange with him because one punch can change the course of this fight in a hurry. We don't usually see that in the lighter weight fights, but Alvarez is a very, very heavy puncher for a guy that only weighs 105 pounds. Lopez has knocked out a lot of guys in his career, but his knockouts are more like Ali's knockouts as a heavyweight in that it's accumulation of punches over a period of 2 or 3 rounds that he catches up with guys, works the body, hurts guys downstairs, and then comes upstairs. Ricardo has not been real successful in the body of Alvarez at all. But then again, he doesn't want to come inside with his hands down, so he's fighting a little bit more cautiously than we've seen him. He can't throw caution to win against this guy like he does against lesser opponents. Digging into the body is Alvarez. There's Finito with the left hook to the head. Reaching with the right hand. Now I see what his corner is talking about. And Lopez does a nice job countering. Lopez again outboxing him here in the 4th round. And I see now why Espada knows more than I do, and why he doesn't want him throwing that wild right hand. Because when he throws it, Finito is very quick and counters with a left hook. And that's what he doesn't want his fighter to take too many of and let the judges, who they know it's going to be difficult to win here in Mexico City, score too much for Finito Lopez. Because right now, it's clearly evident to the judges and me that Lopez is outboxing him right here. After he was on his rear end in the 2nd round in a vicious knockdown. The credit to the great conditioning of Finito Lopez and his ring sense was that he was able to withstand the vicious knockdown that he suffered. His legs were not gone, that's his conditioning. He clipped that time, moving back. Alvarez knows what he wants to do. He wants to land that right hand. And the short, crisp right hand didn't hurt Lopez, and he's counted with 2 or 3 shots since then. Closing seconds of the 4th, and this has been a good Lopez round. A little abrasion by that right cheek of Lopez. Bell ends round 4, and a good Lopez round that I was talking about, the gap that Finito Lopez wants to keep where he's fighting right now, and of course Alvarez, who's coming forward all the time. They want him to narrow that to land those big shots. They want him to come for the uppercut. Let's see if he can execute it. There's one problem with landing an uppercut with Finito Lopez is he keeps his chin tucked pretty good, and he's tough to hit with an uppercut. And he has pretty good movement. Finito standing straight in front of this guy. He ought to get a little bit more angles on this guy, and don't be drawn into a bullfight with this guy. You see? And I'd be circling to my right away from the power instead of circling to his left like he's doing now. That looping right hand. You don't want to circle into the power of a guy. I'd rather take the left hook than the right hand of Alvarez if I were Finito Lopez, and I'm surprised that Finito hasn't thought of that, because they know about the power of the right hand. If you're circling left, you're coming into it. You get caught by it, and you're going to go down, as you saw. See, he's taking the left hooks all right. They might be spinning the head all right of Lopez, but they're not hurting it. It's an interesting fight. You get two terrific boxers here. And now you see Arthur McCanty Sr. saying, hey, keep the hands up. I don't know how old Arthur McCanty is, but he's been around a long time. He's in great shape, however old he is. And he's a great referee. A lot of the young referees today like to showboat it. Arthur McCanty stays out of the shot so he can see the full legs of his fighters. He doesn't want to be the star. He wants to let the fighters be the star. And that's why he's a Hall of Fame referee. This is the 5th round, scheduled for 12. This is a better boxing round for Alvarez, although Lopez is still landing a lot of shots. To be able to stand and box with Lopez is a credit to Alvarez. We know about him as a puncher, and we're seeing a little bit about him as a boxer because, believe me, folks, although Lopez does not look at his best tonight because of the opponent, he is a great boxer. We haven't seen the uppercut by Alvarez, but we saw one by Lopez. Lopez loads up the right hand, another right hand whistles past the nose of Alvarez. Alvarez comes on. Finito's got to get out of there when this guy comes forward. You get a snap back. And he's got to quit circling to his left, and he's doing that more than going to his right, because he wants to set up his own left hook. Now see, there's the great defensive movement there by Lopez, avoiding shots. Lopez comes with the uppercut. This is a tough round to score now for the judges. It's a fairly even round. The judges from the WBA, Samuel Condi of Puerto Rico, Dalby Shirley of Nevada in the United States, and Tommy Kazmarek of New Jersey in the United States of America. So you've got experienced judges here, as you would have in a world title fight of this magnitude. All right, the bell ends the 5th round. 3 and 4 in my scorecard. I couldn't score the 5th round anything but even. I'll get this fight dead even right now as we go to the 6th round. Bob Sheridan here in King Vision. Hope you're enjoying it around the world, wherever you are. By the way, we want to say good day to the boys at the Bungee Bridge in Queenstown in New Zealand. Henry Van Ash there, and my producer Marty Cohen jumping off the bridge last week. And right now, Lopez is trying to put that same kind of fear into Rosendo Alvarez. And Alvarez giving him all he can handle. Lopez was down in a vicious knockdown and a vicious shot in the 2nd round. Credit the conditioning of Lopez. Nice uppercut inside by Lopez. Try to nail it again. This is taking all the skill that Lopez has to outbox this guy. Lopez shifting around to the left a little bit. I told you why I didn't like that. I like it when he's out here. That's okay when he's outside. But when he closes that gap, as Alvarez's people want him, it's dangerous. I like him going to the right and throwing the left hook. And I'm trying not to root for Ricardo Lopez too much, but I know him so well, it's difficult for me not to. But let me say that Alvarez is a terrific kid as well. I just don't know him as well, so I'm trying to give you a fair call here. See, Alvarez comes forward. Lopez ties him up. They keep talking to each other. Something I've never seen Lopez do in fights before. Neither one of these guys can be intimidated. Lopez landing more blows here in the 6th round than he did in the last round. Right now, he's outboxing Alvarez in the 6th round. McCanty does a great job refereeing, doesn't he? Where you're watching 3 great performers. One great veteran fighter in Lopez, a terrific boxer and puncher in Alvarez, and a great referee. Super boxing fans here in Mexico City. This is Lopez with a long looping right hand. You see the right hand doesn't have the power that Alvarez's does, but he's landing many, many more blows. And look at the defense. Notice how he ducks that right shoulder and avoids the right hand. Very few guys can do that. Those are the things you can't teach a fighter. Things that Finito Lopez does. And you know, yesterday when I talked to him, we had the opportunity to have a chat with him. Nice defensive move there. I said, what are you working on? What's a guy with your kind of ability work on in his career? He said, Colonel, I got to work on my power. Always time and stay at 105. Losing weight saps strength from a fighter when you got to get down to 105 at age 30, and you've been fighting there for several years. Alvarez appears stronger because he didn't have to lose weight. He's been eating steaks all week and staying strong at 104, 105 pounds, weighed in at the 105-pound limit. Okay, the bell ends, and I think that Lopez, based on the 6th round, I've got Lopez 1 point out in front in this fight, yet he was the guy who was knocked down back in the 2nd round. Mind you, these rounds are very close and very difficult to score, so I'm just trying to give you, in this particularly difficult fight to score, an idea of the way I see it anyway. Lopez has thrown 4 or 5 punches, landed 3 or 4 of them. Alvarez throws 1 and lands it. Digging to the body, that's what they want him to do. Got to keep that right hand high. Want to get that left hook. And once he gets that left hook, get it right back up there so you don't get nailed by the right hand. This is Finito Lopez avoiding the right hand. See him hold that left high by that left cheek so he didn't get nailed by the right hand, and then dip, feinting his body across so he can't get hit with the right hand. And I tell you, Alvarez's corner is exactly right. Come with that uppercut. When he does that, when he feints his body across his trunk and comes down like that, come with the uppercut and he'll catch Lopez. But he hasn't been able to execute it because Lopez is so slick on his feet. Digging shot to the body again. He's trying to punish him with the body, and listen to what his corner is telling him. Patrick Garcia rolled into. That right hand, by the way, there was one of the better shots that Lopez has landed in the fight. It may have taken a little bit of steam out of the legs of Alvarez. Nice shot in here, and now it's clear to me that Lopez is outboxing Alvarez. This is not a difficult round to score to this point. This is taking all the ability that Lopez can muster because Alvarez is a terrific fighter. Alvarez, don't forget, to the left of your screen, Lopez to the right of your screen, and white. Loads up the right hand and ducking away is Ricardo. Ricardo takes a straight left hand, continues to circle left, throws the uppercut, misses. You see Alvarez almost getting set up, and those heads come together again. I don't know if they're cut. Like a headbutt. It's been called an accidental headbutt, and I think he is cut. I mean, obviously now you can see he's cut. Remember, 1 point is taken away from Alvarez here because he's the uninjured fighter, and he's saying why? Well, that's the rule. The uninjured fighter loses a point. This is going to be a problem, because this is going to go to the scorecards no matter what happens now. This fight is official. Accidental headbutt or not, this fight is official, and it's a bad cut, folks. This is really bad. I don't know if Lopez is going to be able to go too much longer with this cut. It's bad. 1 point off Alvarez if it were to end in this round, and this round was scored. The fight that got dead even. So, I don't know. I hate to see a cut spoil a fight like this, and this is a bad cut. We'll have a better look in between rounds, but it's really bad. From what I could see, it looked like it was gaping in the eyelid, which is the worst place. Lopez was in the process of having a terrific 7th round, and then the hooks came together. Closing seconds now, the 7th round. We'll get a real good look at it in between. Now Lopez outboxed him, meaning he won the round 10-9, and with a point taken away, it's like a knockdown, so you score that round 10-8. They're going to stop the fight, I think.
No more. I think we should go to the scorecard. A ver, go to the scorecard.
Hay que seguir con él. Hay que estar con él cerca. Y como tú tiras el gancho de izquierda. No va más. Como tú tiras el gancho izquierda.
It's going to go to the scorecards, and if my unofficial scoring is correct, Lopez will win the fight 68-65 if the judges have it the way I have it. But it will go to the scorecards. That's the rule. He's stopping the fight because of the cut, and by rule, it will go to the scorecards. Now, if the judges saw it the way I saw it, Lopez will win. Lopez's corner thinks they're ahead, and I think they're ahead too. The referee, the doctor, I think, has advised referee McCanty to stop the fight. We'll get this all sorted out. Now, he stopped the fight. We'll show you the headbutt again. The fight's over, folks. The fight is over. And that's it. Well, it's an unfortunate anticlimactic end to what was developing into a terrific fight, but there's no way this kid can continue. He's really split open. We're going to show you the headbutt again, and we'll get all the official ruling, but believe me, it's going to the scorecards, and it'll be official. There's the headbutt right there. There it is here again. Boom, right there. We talked about the possibility of cuts because of the way Alvarez. 7 rounds. The fight is stopped by referee Arthur McCanty, I believe, on the advice of the doctor. And under the rules of both the WBC and WBA, it goes to the scorecards. We'll have the official announcement momentarily. Again, on my scorecard, the significant round is the 7th round because I thought Lopez won the round, and if the fight, even if it was even going to the 7th round, Lopez won the round 10-9, and you get the point taken away, which is the rule. The guy who does the butting, who's not injured, loses a point. That's the rule. So it's a 10-8 round, which is the same as if Lopez has knocked Alvarez down. And in that case, if the fight was as close as I saw it, Lopez will get the technical decision here. Down in the 2nd round. Nailed really good in the 2nd round and just starched in the 2nd round.
I know. I'm going to worry about it. I'll be looking at it.
The reason for the holdup, we understand now, is that they forgot to deduct the point, so you're probably going to have a technical draw here. And that would be just. Here's Jimmy Leonard Jr.
Después de round número 7, el referee paró la pelea por razón de una cortada, un cabezazo accidental. Tenemos una decisión técnica. Ladies and gentlemen, after round number 7, the referee stops the contest due to a cut, an accidental headbutt. We have a technical decision and go to the scorecards. El juez Tom Kaczmarek tiene la pelea 67-64 a favor de Lopez. Tommy Kaczmarek scores about 67-64 for Lopez. El juez Samuel Conde anota 68-63, 68-63 a favor de Alvarez. El juez Dalby Shirley tiene la pelea 66-66, 66, even a draw. La decisión es un empate.
Well, I have to agree with that, folks. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. It was kind of voting down party lines.